Thank you so much for joining us at 6 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Stephen Holt.
And I'm Allison Rosati. It's a story that's making national news tonight. Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson led a crowded Democratic group of lawmakers to voice clear opposition to President Trump sending National Guard troops to the city of Chicago. Well, they say they have not spoken to the White House. President Trump has suggested Chicago is next to receive federal troops.
There is a lot of new reaction to that call today. Let's start our team coverage with political reporter Marianne Ahern joining us live downtown. Marianne, and let's call it what it is. There's a lot of political theater on both sides on this issue.
Good point, Stephen and Allison. Good evening to both of you. Yes, just 4 days ago, President Trump first suggested that Chicago would be next. As he sees it, there's been success in Washington, D.C. with the National Guard there, and he'd like to see them perhaps here in Chicago. Democrats, of course, are very much opposed. Governor Pritzker today invited national media along with him for a ride along a water taxi, arriving here at the press conference, taking them to see the skyline. Critics, of course, note the river is not considered a safety risk at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. However, this is also about the governor raising his national profile. He then gathered with a large group of Democratic elected officials, all rejecting the need for the National Guard in Chicago.
If this was really about fighting crime and making the streets safe, what possible justification could the White House have for planning such an exceptional action without any conversations or consultations with the governor, the mayor, or the police? Let me answer that question. This is not about fighting crime. This is about Donald Trump searching for any justification to deploy the military in a blue city, in a blue state, to try and intimidate his political rivals.
We have our own autonomy in terms of how we protect this city. As the governor has articulated, federal troops are not police officers. They don't have that authority or that power. So the very thing in which the president is claiming he wants them to do, they don't have the authority to do that.
Also joining them, Attorney General Kwame Raoul, who echoed their remarks, saying there was no need for the National Guard. Stephen and Allison.
It was just last week the president first floated this idea of maybe sending the National Guard to Chicago. Marianne, what is President Trump saying about it today? Did he say anything else?
This morning, he was quite vocal, Stephen. From the Oval Office, he spoke about it. The president leaving the door open for troops to Chicago. He was sharply critical of Chicago and Illinois leaders.
You really want to be asked to go. You know, I hate to barge in on a city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians and bad politicians like a guy like Pritzker. He ought to spend more time in the gym, actually. This guy is a disaster. We may wait. We may or may not. We may just go in and do it, which is probably what we should do. They need help badly. Chicago desperately needs help. Just look at the crime statistics.
However, it is those crime statistics that both the mayor and the governor point out are trending in a better direction in several key violent crime areas. Allison?
And Marianne, what is next? Who has the legal authority when it comes to calling in the National Guard?
And that is the question that everyone wants to know. There is divide. President Trump said he can do so without the consent of the governor. However, legal experts are divided whether the government is allowed to send in troops without a request.
It's unconstitutional. It's against the law. We talked about posse comitatus. There is no reason why American military can be or should be in American cities when there is not an insurrection.
When asked if Attorney General Kwame Raoul might file a preemptive lawsuit, he said he does not anticipate one, but also left the door open. Very much a moving story with lots of developments to come. For now, reporting live, Marianne Ahern, back to both of you.
We're going to stay on top of it and follow it every step of the way. Marianne, thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne.